CarProof started by trying to figure out a solution to a problem that existed as a result of a business problem that happened at Midtown Motors.
We had a lawsuit in my parents' company as a result of buying and selling a lot of cars. And I thought, if this is happening to me, it's got to be happening to other people. And I remember bouncing it against Joe Luther.
And I was involved in the company with my brother and his partner at the time. And of course, being the lawyer, the first person they called is me. And I asked Paul, I said, how did this happen? How did you not know there were liens on it? He said, I ran a history in Ontario, but I didn't know that it had been in Quebec. I said, you mean there's no service in Canada that provides, across Canada search? He said, no. He says, I wish there was. The ones that are out here right now just fall short. And I said, well, man, that sounds like a business idea. He got real energized and excited about it, and I told my brother and his other partner about it. And then Paul called back like an hour later. He says, I've already talked to Holden Rhodes. You haven't met him yet. He's a lawyer. He's really good with details.
We decided to set the company up. We brought Holden on board, Bill Luther, and Phil Trupiano, and Richard McLaren. We actually had lunch at an Italian restaurant in Sarnia.
The Italian restaurant in Sarnia. Yeah, I'll never forget that. I don't know why we chose that place. It's just this little hole-in-the-wall Italian restaurant, like 2 blocks from the Sarnia Bridge, but that's where we ended up.
The interesting thing was CarProof for years was, literally one guy in the office. And I think, clients never used to realize, I used to take conference calls at my last job on behalf of CarProof and talk about how the team will get right on that, and we've got QA people for that, or and literally it was just us at night.
Except for programming, we pretty much did everything. We did the sales, we did the marketing, we did the product development.
And we would go to bed in a hotel, wake up in the morning, and kind of go our separate directions and knock on doors. That's all we did, is knock on doors, told them that we were here for the registry. A couple of them would send us away. Don't have time for you now. Paul Antony being sent away by a registry agent, like, don't you know who he thinks he is?
We would often start at 6 or 7 in the morning at the latest, work till about that at night, go home for a couple hours, and then come back till 2, and that would happen 4 or 5 nights a week, and then weekends as too.
Back then, CarProof was a little bit of a different environment. I remember it was just Marissa and I basically almost sharing a desk. So it was just kind of the two of us starting off in the sales department.
I remember about a month or 2 ago, an email came out about protocol at CarProof on using the boardroom. And I think the email said something about the large boardroom should be used under these circumstances, the small boardroom under these circumstances, and who to contact. And I just chuckled because it made me think back to the early days when we really didn't even have an office.
It's a function of the people that work here. This has far exceeded my expectations now. So this company it's got a mind of its own, and it's driven by the collective group that run the company, and I'm proud to be a part of it.